I didn't know what to expect to being a first-time mother. So, you know, I'm going to go on maternity leave now, and I'm hoping that I'm going to come back. And they said no.
And I feel like there is a facade online that will show you can have it all. And the reality is something is going to be sacrificed.
Yeah, and it's normally you.
Yeah.
And it's normally you, your mental health,
yeah.
your body, your stress, your eyesight. It could be anything, but you go first. And that's a shame.
The Parent Playbook. The Parent Playbook.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Parent Playbook by Tribe. This is a space for real conversation, authentic parenting, and just the overall journey that career people have when they're raising their children. If you're looking for the glossy Instagram reel, clean house version, you better keep going and find something else, because this is really honest, it's really gritty. Sometimes we swear, so if you have small children, you probably don't want them to hear this. And we're extremely honest. So yeah, there's no manual, there is no rule book, there's just a purple print. So we're gonna get into it. Today, I'm joined by an amazing guest, and it's someone who's inspired me for pretty much the majority of my life, probably not even realizing it. I'm joined by Tacita Small. If we had a studio audience, this way everyone goes, yeah, go Jerry. Go Jerry. Welcome to the panel, Jerry.
You know what? I've watched this, like I've said before, and it's so I'm honoured to be sitting here. So I appreciate you.
And I'm honoured to have you here. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell the people what you do?
Okay, so my name is Tacita Small, and I run an organisation called the Small HR Company. It's a company that provides HR services and support to the film and television industry, as well as the music industry and the theatre production industry. So if you're making a film or a TV show, crew of any size, could be any from 60 to 2,000 people, we provide HR on set.
Wow. Oh, so you're actually...
So yeah, we can be there.
Wow.
Not just on set. So on set is one thing.
Like on site?
Yeah, on set, in a studio, on location, remote support, and we've been supporting loads and loads of films and stuff over the last few years.
Wow, that is amazing.
Some of your faves, definitely. So when you're watching something, look at the credits and see if we're in there.
See it on there. Yeah. Oh no, honestly, that is so cool. HR is something that I think when you are a small organisation, it always falls to the wayside, and people don't spend time or money in that particular area because you don't feel like you ever have to.
Yes.
But you have to.
Yeah, you think you don't have to, or you don't make that part of your plan when you're starting.
Exactly.
It's normally just you. So you just get on with it, and then you blink, and then you've got a team of like 3 or 4 or 2 or you plus one. And I always think you plus one, that decision to get your first person is where you should start thinking about what happens if that then becomes a massive team. And quite often what people don't think about is where can I get these resources for free or for cheap?
Yeah.
Or for reasonable, maybe not cheap, but get something, because it's not just you anymore, and you're liable for somebody else's livelihood.
Yeah, and that is it's not a joke, man. It is not a joke. And I think when a lot of, especially in the creative industry, you're just so focused on the flashy, creative, the juicy, it's exciting.
The shine, I want to just live my dream.
And there's a
get out and do
backbone.
it. But the back piece of that is contracts. It is, terms and conditions. It is hourly rates and paying people.
Exactly.
It is about fulfilling projects or getting something done to a high standard.
Yeah.
You can't just say,
and having the safeguarding as well for the employees, but also for yourself as a company owner, because I think that's where it gets really, really techie. Because there is, as you said, you're just liable. Like you're basically like the mother.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're the mother, the oracle, the CEO, you're the founder, you're the HR, the marketing, you're the everything.
Everything.
The minute you register your company is the minute you should be thinking about your people. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. I unfortunately agree. I've learned the hard way quite a few times.
And sometimes you have to learn the hard way, but I don't want people to ever do that.
Yeah.
Ever learn the hard way, because there is a way that you can do this. It's just about thought and intention around.
It just sounds scary. I think so let's rewind. Okay.
Yes.
So I met Tacita very many moon ago. I would not say the year because it's going to start giving ages. We're not doing
We don't want to do that today.
We're not doing that today. But I met you at Foot Locker in Oxford Street. And I remember seeing this very, very well-dressed lady. She had Louis Vuitton headscarf on, the big sunglasses. And I thought, who is that? And they were like, oh, that's the HR lady. And I was like, the HR lady? Oh my God, I want to be in HR. I don't want to be in HR. I just wanted to be like you. I was wearing stripes on my big, the big pants
yeah,
and
the big black
trainers.
ones, yeah.
And you were black.
Yes.
You were fashionable,
Oh,
and
bless
you
you.
were somebody that we could look at to aspire to be like.
that's so
And
cute.
I don't know if you realized that type of impact for black women at that time, because we were just all on the shop floor. I'd never thought about someone being in head office that could look like me. So you were a staple that showed us not only that you were black, but you were a woman. Okay, and you wasn't a woman that looked like. Okay, do you remember the lady that worked in the banking?
Yes.
Is her name Esther?
Yeah.
Is it Esther? She was like 100. Yeah.
You can't put that on there. You can't put that on there.
Okay, she was 100.
She was 100.
No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't
an older
100. I'm an
lady.
exaggerator. Okay, but
cannot
she
say
was
that,
like, but she was just somebody that I was look at like she was a mature
Like
woman.
an auntie or a mum. Or
Like
an older auntie.
and not like the modern. I'm an auntie now. We're not talking about these
I've been
aunties.
an auntie.
Yeah, we're not aunties.
No.
But she wasn't. I didn't look at her and be like, oh, I want to be like you, and I want your job. It didn't give that, you know. But you gave that.
Oh, bless
Yeah, and
you.
even like David Brown, the general manager of the
Yes,
store,
yeah.
young, black. It's just cutting edge, man.
Yeah,
so it was a real dynamic place to be.
Yeah.
When did you have your children? Was it after
that,
Foot
yes,
Locker?
After that,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
It was I think a couple of jobs. No, it was a job after I did after that. That's when I had my children. When I had my first son. But Foot Locker was amazing. It's a moment in time, and there was a lot of people that I definitely made an impact with, because I see people all the time. You gave me my first job. I remember. Do you remember I worked on the shop floor? Like, oh my God! So that's really lovely. So thank you for that. For saying that. That
No,
does
but
mean a
it
lot.
really is. And I
does
remember doing like, I tried to do every job in Foot Locker. And there was this, I'd done a stint of recruitment and stuff in there, and like helping do the recruitment. And I remember recruiting people. And I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this. Well, I am. This is my podcast. But I remember thinking, I'm employing everyone black. Okay? anyone black, I'm employing you. Yeah? No, because I know
It's
it's
the early 2000s, right?
It's the early 2000s. And I just remember thinking, no one's giving these people a chance. I remember there's a guy called Eddie. I don't even remember. He worked on the first floor, and he was like 17. He had no experience. And the rule was you needed experience to get a job.
Yeah.
But where were you getting the experience from?
from,
I remember talking to him. I said, listen, if I give you this job, don't let me down, you know. I was like, if I tell you to fold 100 t-shirts in an hour, you're going to fold 100 t-shirts? And he said, yeah, I will. Fast forward, I remember seeing him, and he said, do you know what? He said, you changed my life. I said, I didn't change your life. He said, listen, you gave me no one, but I had so many interviews and no one would give me a job. I didn't have the experience. And he said, and I made sure I folded them t-shirts, but my life depended on it. And I laughed. And I thought, you know what? In life and in our day and age, it's like people like who they like because they like people that look like them.
That's called bias now.
It's called bias. It is. And back then it was happening
Early 2000s.
without us because we
Yes, I
weren't
hear you.
employed. We weren't being employed to see us.
I hear you.
And I feel like sometimes you just need to give someone a chance. And it's not even based on the colour of their skin, based on their experience.
I think that what happened back then, and that store just had a lot of fresh young talent. I remember the induction day. It was just before you came on board.
Yeah.
You came,
I came after. Yeah.
We had an induction day. I think it's in somewhere in Brixton, it might have been. And I just looked at all the people that had been recruited, and I'm like, this is going to be a moment in time. This is going to be a moment in time. This is going to be a lot. It's going to be a bit techie, but
it was
we're
for
gonna have
us.
fun.
It was for us, by us,
I think
and
it was-
people felt that when they came into Foot Locker,
for
man.
sure,
It was
for
a thing.
Yeah, it
like,
was.
and before the music, I was definitely she's the girl that works on Foot Locker.
Yeah. You were known because that's where you got your trainer from.
Everyone got a tell. I was at the least line. Like it definitely.
TNs, all that
Honestly, the 110s. Like, and I always remember this guy that came in. He threw a trainer at David. I don't even remember. Yeah, some guy he fired. I said, "Come and dash a trainer." I had a meeting with somebody who was the regional, the vice president of Foot Locker or something in America. Yeah. Randomly, he hit me up. Nothing to do with Foot Locker. This was this is maybe a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And anyway, we've got the Zoom on, and we're having a meeting, and I've still got my stripes, and I put my stripes on for the meeting because I saw it say Foot Locker in his thing, and he had no idea. And the thing came on, and he said, I don't even know what to say. And he laughed a lot. I said, listen, I'm a mascot, man. I said, I'm telling you, I said, Foot Locker shaped me.
Yeah,
like, Foot Locker gave me so many gems that I never even realized I was learning on the go that I do today in my business. Even like now, even the training day forms, like I train my staff exactly the same. So yeah, it was incredible. But talk to me about your... So that was like you single.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't have to worry about nobody else. Talk to me about having your first son and how that affected your career and just how it affected your day to day when it came to work.
That's a really good one because when I had my first son, I'm going to age myself in this podcast, I know it. It was around the time when flexible working just came in.
Okay.
So I didn't know what to expect to being a first-time mother. So, you know, I'm going to go on maternity leave now, and I'm hoping that I'm going to come back.
Come back, yeah.
And I want to come back because there's a new law coming out now that I can reduce my hours. And they said no.
Oh, they said no, just like that?
Yeah, they said no, just like that. And I didn't understand because being in HR, you know,
How dare you?
You can ask them what you're supposed to do, and they didn't follow any of the rules. That's a separate story. But having a child and then having a break, which is my maternity, I enjoyed. It came at me very hard because I'd been, you know, a girl about town. Big glasses, Louis Vuitton,
outside.
I was outside for ages. I loved that. But then to have this person now relying on me,
looking at
me for whatever it may be, I think it knocked me sideways, I'm not going to lie. And being a career girly, I didn't know, and no one gives you the book on how to manage both.
Yeah.
I love my job and my career. I'm trying to be super successful, but now I'm a parent, this person that needs constant care, food, shelter, everything from you. And I just didn't know how to do both.
Yeah.
I didn't. And I'd still say today, my oldest is 22, I still don't know how to do both. Because like I said, there's no rule book. Anyway, I wanted to go out part-time, I couldn't. So I left and I went and found another job. Wow. But looking back, I can say that I understand that experience when other people say to me, you know, what do I do? I've just got pregnant, what do I do at work? And it's so hard. It's so hard to advise people, I suppose, but it's also so hard to look at how people today are going to navigate.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. I don't.
It's the truth.
You want to work and you want to have a family. I don't believe necessarily in it, like work-life balance. I don't know anyone that's got it right.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like there is a facade online that will show you can have it all. And the reality is something is going to be sacrificed.
Yeah, and it's normally you.
Yeah.
And it's normally you, your mental health,
yeah.
your body, your stress, your eyesight. It could be anything, but you go first. And that's a shame because the person that you are having this child is the person that really needs, that child really needs.
Yeah. You know, you're right. It's like they need the original you, but the original you is in like the distance.
Gone.
Man. It's
Gone.
the distance.
Gone.
I think that one of the things that I was so focused on, which I probably would change now, is the fact that I was so focused on getting back into work.
You just beat me to it. I think looking back, that career piece, I didn't want to let go because it was my identity.
Sure, everything.
I was in HR.
Yeah.
My whole identity. That's your HR. Everywhere I go, that's me. However, that wasn't me. That's my job.
Yeah.
I became my job, but I'm not my job. So I wish I had more time. I wish I'd spent more time being in the moment.
Yeah.
You're panicking. You're panicking because you're just trying.
Yeah.
And just trying.
And there's no one, and I feel like as well, we don't have the version of what that looked like before us.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a thing.
No.
People were working not to have a career, they're working just to pay the bills.
Exactly.
It's very different.
Very, very
and when
different.
you have a career, you're emotionally attached to the entire journey and you unplug now.
Yeah.
How am I ever going to get back to there if I take my eye off of the ball?
Sure.
And it is hard.
It depends on where you work, what kind of company you work for, but they are generally going to move on. So you're going to go away, you go for a year.
Someone's going to fill your space, man.
Someone's going to fill your space. It's an organisation, it has to.
It has to.
And if I was real with myself, I would have maybe taken that on board a lot more rather than thinking, well, they can't live without me. I am
I'm irreplaceable.
I'm irreplaceable. Therefore, but then my priorities have changed. I've got to do a school run now, or nursery run at the time.
Yeah.
And nursery hours are longer than school, but it's still like running in heels. Me and my friends joke all the time. Do you remember when we used to run in heels? Because back then it wasn't trainers, right?
Yeah.
It was heels. She had to wear heels to work, right? But then you'd be running in the morning with your heels with the pushchair to nursery, or
Doing a drop-off.
trying to leave, like sneak out at 5 to get to nursery for 6.
Okay.
Forever paying late fees. Forever paying late fees. Just factor that into the budget, late fees, because
it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
And I feel like as well, it's like now when you look and you're thinking, wow, and I done all of that, and then I was away from my kids. Like, where was the reward, you know? But it's the reward in the moment is not losing yourself, because you feel like a part of you gets lost if you're going to let go of this. And I think that's probably one of the main struggles I see a lot of mums having that want to do something for themselves, because it's like sometimes I envy the woman that doesn't have the career goals and they just want to be a mum because they're fully that's just not me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I love being here. I love doing my own thing.
Variety.
Yeah, I love the variety.
I think even those ones that want to stay at home, they do want variety, but they want their focus to be here.
Yes, they do.
I think that, you know, some companies and the larger ones give things like maternity counselling or coming back to work counselling.
Wow.
That can help you with
navigating
how it is to come back, because it is very different. It's just conflicting priorities all the time. You know, I'm going to get a call from school in the middle of the day.
Gotta go.
Exactly. How do you not feel guilty? Because mum guilt we hear about it all the time. Mum guilt is a thing, but if it's a thing, then how do we stop it calling it mum guilt?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not, because
guilt is a negative word. I just care enough to say, I need to, that's a priority.
Gotta go, man.
Exactly. I'm giving you all I've got when I'm here, but actually this is higher than you.
This is one of the struggles I think I have as a founder and being a mum founder, because being a woman founder is a whole thing by itself. But then adding mum onto it, you sound and look unreliable because they know that if your kid needs you, you're gone. Yeah, that's the impression that I get. I feel like instead of looking at a female mother founder as look what she's built on top of her home and her child and looking after her husband, and then not to mention her family members, and then being there for her friends. Look what she's done. They look at, but if her kid needs her, she's out the door.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why when I started my company, I was very intentional with the kind of people that I want to work with as clients, because I've been there where I've had, the last job I had before I started my company, I remember the owner of the company called me to do something like proper intense on, I think it was an Easter Sunday. And I was committed to, like, at my laptop opening up, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. I think I might have been crying, I can't remember. My youngest came in and said, what's wrong? I said, this is just really pissing me off. Like, it's Easter Sunday. She was like on a yacht somewhere.
Enjoying life,
barking orders at me on Easter Sunday. And my little son said to me, why don't you just resign? I don't know where he got the word resign from.
But when the kids bring the gems.
I said, I was like, you know what I did? I typed out my resignation letter, printed it and put it in my bag, and I closed my laptop. I said, if they piss me off again this week,
I'm off.
What did they do?
They pissed you off again. Everything's aligned for you, man.
That was at the long end of lots of disrespect and carrying on like that. But out of the mouths of babes, that's why I left, because it's like, we said, why don't you just leave? It's so easy to him. Like, if you don't like it there, mum,
then leave.
Just
it's
go.
a choice.
Exactly. Just don't work with them anymore. I'm thinking, you've got bills to pay, baby.
Yeah, but you know what it is as well? It's because they hear things from us like, oh, you don't like her playing with that guy anymore. Well, just don't play with him.
Exactly.
Don't play with someone else.
Yeah,
it's so plain. And sometimes it's so in our face that we can't even see it. But then again, you have everything that goes along with it. You know, the financial strain, the things that you're paying for. You're thinking about, babes, we want to be on a yacht very soon. Yeah,
right.
Like, I'm trying to do all the things right now. It's hard.
But
I suppose that is the beauty in when things get really tough, just having your children there that kind of put you back on track without even realizing
to help you to ground you, like just ground you in what's your actual reality. But it's hard.
The reality. You know, when they look at you for who you really are. So okay, you see me, baby.
Tell me about yourself for sure. No, there's no right or wrong to anything. Whenever my friends say, oh, this happened, I'm like, you know what? Whatever decision you make is the right one. It's the right one. Because it's the right one for you right then.
Yeah, and it's going to take you.
If you live with that, then there are no wrong decisions, because no one's telling us. There's no guide to this life.
And again, it goes back to something we was talking about. I think it was off camera when we was talking about the comparison game. It's like you feel like you're doing the wrong thing because you're comparing yourself to Tom, Dick and Harry who are doing it their way. And it's like, no, because there is only one design for you.
Yeah.
And that is unique to your entire being. Sure. And if you can like lock into that and accept it, then it's just going to be that much easier, because it's just going to be less stressful.
It's hard as well, because when you have children, that comparison thing then creeps in with them and comparing what their milestones are or where they are.
Absolutely.
So, doing extra.
To try and make up for it.
Oh my God.
So you have two, but you're an only child, which is interesting, because I have an only daughter, and I get the question, you must have got it when you had your first child, the question all the time is, when are you having another one? When are you having another one? And I'm just like, no, I'm not having any more. I'm done. My daughter's good. Yes, there are sometimes some concerns of when she gets older, because she doesn't have siblings, but she has cousins. She's got cousins and friends.
Exactly.
But it is what it is. The ovaries are closed.
I hear you.
We're not doing this again.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
But having an only child, there is no comparison, because it is just her. So she was reading at the age of 2, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, she's so smart. And I'm just like, okay, I don't really, there is no comparison. And I'm quite fortunate, because she's good at a lot of stuff. So I don't genuinely compare her to what the next person is doing, but I see people that will compare their children to what she's doing. They're like, oh, but she's like, oh, I wish this, and and I'm just like, I don't feel like I would ever compare. I don't know because,
Yeah.
you know,
No.
but what does that look like when you have two children and they're different spirits, different journeys?
Chalk and cheese. It's like having.
Okay, are they completely different?
Totally different. They are the opposite ends of everything.
Really?
Yeah, they're different people.
Okay.
They're not alike. There's a big age gap. They're 6 years apart.
Okay.
So they're not like growing up underneath each other. They've got their own lives, own interests. They look, you know, to me, very different.
Okay.
But they also got a different version of me. They got different parents.
Okay.
So the parents that, you know, when I had,
Yes.
So the version of me when I had my oldest, and the version of me now I had my youngest. I was in a different time in my life when I had them. So they've got different parents. And that's why I say when they've got different parents.
I get it. Yeah.
We were not the same. When we were doing it the first time, we didn't know we were uptight, didn't know what we were doing, just trying to do everything. Second one, I was like,
free flowing.
It is what it is. My older one's like, all this gentle parenting. I'm like, it's not gentle parenting. Mummy's tired.
Yeah. That's what I say. When you get to the third one, they just do whatever they want.
The second one, I'm like, you know what? It will be what it will be. And I'm less harsh on myself as a parent with my second one. But growing up as an only kid, I loved it.
Okay.
And I didn't love it. The only reason why I didn't love it was because I suppose I'm a very outgoing, extroverted person, and I would want my extroversion to be surrounded by others. I get my energy from others all the time.
Yeah.
So at home, I'd be the kid that would be having their own TV show, doing a cooking show. That was me.
Yeah,
you know.
okay.
And now we're doing this. Now I'm talking to myself, singing into a mic, little tape recorder. So my mum and dad gave me everything like that just to keep
Occupy
me
you.
occupied.
Yeah.
But then I had a massive cousin cohort, like I've got loads of cousins. So the weekends were theirs, but weekdays it would just be quite quiet. And looking back, I suppose that's a really nice balance, to be fair.
Yeah, you
To
can
be
tap
an
in
only
and
kid,
tap
just
out.
Tap in and tap out. And then when I see like my friends who are siblings or who have children, and there's that sibling rivalry or that, I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know how you I did never get that.
There was a time when Kizzy was like, oh, I want a brother or sister, I want a brother or sister, I want a brother or sister. And then it was just like, no, it's not happening.
Yeah.
But now she's at the age where I feel like the last time she asked, she must have been about 5.
Yeah.
And I said, Bob, listen, Mummy's not ready to have another baby right now. I said, I don't think I will be. I said, but let me explain how the dynamic will change for you. I said, because right now, Mummy, can you? And Mummy's busy. I said, what do you think I'm going to do when I have a baby in my arm? And she said, it's okay, because then Daddy can hold the baby. I said, okay, cool. I said, but then what, when you want Daddy to do something with you and me to do something with you? She goes, well, I'll hold the baby then. I said, but then you won't be able to do what you want to do. And in that instant, she said, oh yeah, I just don't want a brother or sister anymore. She realised that the attention was going to deplete.
Yeah. It was never an option for me. My mum was never going to have any more children. So I was the only one. And you know, you get the things like, oh, you're spoiled, you've got your own way, you've got everything you want. I'm like, just no one has to share it with me. It wasn't my choice.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is. If you see that single child energy on me, then that's a you thing and not a me thing.
Yeah, no, I'm here for it. I had a sibling. Me and my sister have got quite a good relationship now. But there was a long period of time that we didn't have a great relationship. And I feel like for me, that was another thing. Like, it could be great, but it could not.
I have so many siblings that just don't talk.
Yeah.
In war all the time. It's just, it's too much drama. So, yeah.
I think only in maybe the past 4 years, me and my sister have got to a place where now we're really, really good.
Yeah.
There's such a long space.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, it's a relationship and they're individuals. So the child you get at one is not the child you're going to get in the second one.
Oh, can you hear the alarm? It's the alarm clock.
I love it.
It's the Kizzy alarm. So yeah, my daughter is 9 and she is like in the forefront of my business, basically. So she knows I'm shooting a podcast. And she was like, oh, Mommy, can you ask the guest a question from me?
Love it.
I was like, okay, right. So the question is, what is your most favorite hobby to do with your children or child? So maybe because there might be one each.
Oh, that's really sweet.
I feel like I was catching a stray. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like she was.
Ask people what they do because I don't see what's going on around here.
I'm telling you. I felt like I feel the stray. I feel the shade. But okay, it's all right. We're gonna do something tonight.
I love it. All right, what do I like to do with my children? Well, they're big now, so 22 and 16. But what I do like doing. Hobbies and travel. I love showing them the world.
Yeah,
that's and I feel fortunate enough to do it. Take them to places that maybe I didn't go to as a kid, or that they would think I wouldn't want to go there, or I wouldn't go. So I like traveling, but general hobbies, things like card games, you know.
Okay, yeah.
So we haven't done it in a while. It's kind of dropped off a little bit, but Sunday dinner is my tradition. So we'll have every Sunday. I'm not going to cook the rest of the week.
Yeah, but Sunday's coming
You're going to get that Sunday dinner. It's going to be all the trimming.
Okay.
Right? So we'll have Sunday dinner and then game of Uno.
Oh, lovely.
Because that kind of just
Unifies everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Gets back together. We're sitting around a table, like we haven't done it in a little bit actually, maybe like since Christmas or whatever. Sit down. Otherwise, no one's going to sit around the table anymore. Everyone's got their own activities and
Into their own things.
Into their own things, especially as they get older. So that was a nice tradition we had for quite a while, just to, after dinner, just to watch a film or play cards. But cards, Uno.
Do you know what they've got on Netflix, actually? That might be a good one. They've got games on Netflix now. Have you ever played them?
I've never. No.
Okay, so they've got Tetris and they've got picture game where you draw, but you do it on your phone.
Oh,
So
okay.
we've been doing that because you're right. It's like
Yeah.
sometimes everyone's so busy, and then it's eating with dinner, and then we're going to putting you to bed, reading your story, and it's like you want to do a family thing. So we have been doing that, and it's quite. Even though we were playing Tetris the other day, and I'm like the boss of Tetris, and her and her dad, they was just bantering me, man, and I got really upset. I'm getting my feels, man. They're like, yeah, you know, she's only good because she drinks all the latte, and you know the silly things. But just the family time is so important.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of discussions, especially as you get older, when you have your children, cultivating adult conversations with them is really, really important. How do any of your children do the 11+? Have you heard of the 11+?
Oh, bless you. So I did that. Did
you do the 11+?
No, I went to independent school.
Did you?
Yeah,
Wow.
so I went to independent school when I was, I think, 4 to 6.
Oh my days.
And then I went to public school, state school.
Okay.
And then I went to independent school from 11 to 16.
Oh my days, amazing.
So 11+.
So you've done the 11+ yourself. Well, this is a fantastic conversation then. How was it for you?
So many years ago.
Yeah.
And I found it okay.
Okay.
Like, being an only child, I suppose my mum and my parents had the time to put into me.
Yeah.
So I just remember like workbooks all the time. My God,
Okay.
the fact where I could just do them. My mental arithmetic, I was really good at that sort of stuff. So that was okay. I think the pressure now though, and even look, my oldest son, putting him through the 11+.
Okay, so you've done it with him?
Yeah, but not my youngest because
Okay.
he was COVID time. So he went straight from junior school, primary school.
Oh,
so it's a
okay.
same school, so he just went straight up. Didn't need to do the 11+. But it's so competitive. I am all for it for the right children. And I think if it's not your child, it's not your child.
Yeah, I hear you.
I say to people all the time, trust in your parenting.
Yeah.
And I'm not some guru or something like trusting. No, just do what's right for you in your house.
Yeah, I hear
Because
you.
sometimes that comparison thing, especially in the like school mums, like around the school run, everyone's what are you doing, what you do. It's like, oh, they're doing this. And
Let me jump on.
focus on what your child, because not everyone, it's a lot of pressure. Not every child is ready for that type of pressure. And then they might do well and get to the school and then be struggling in the school. Then you're doing that plus
Catch
tutoring,
up.
it's a lot.
It's a lot of pressure. I've done some research. So someone said to me, oh, you know, are you going to make same thing? So kids are doing the 11+. I'm like, she has a tutor and she had a tutor in her, I changed her school, very long story, but we changed her school. And the reason she had a tutor at her old school is because she was doing too much. She needed extra work, and I'm not very academic.
School,
I'm just like, babes, I know you're 5, but I don't know what I'm doing.
It gets like that now, and it's different. It's like the maths is different.
The maths is not mathing
like,
for me.
have phonics.
Exactly. So she had a tutor, and also a tutor that said to me, are you thinking about doing the 11+? I said, I don't really know much about it. I've done a bit of research, and online there is a magnitude of negative pressure that it looks like that it comes with it. So anyway, I just looked at it and I thought, I'm not the parent that is like really behind academia like that, because I'm not very academic. So if she doesn't flourish in academics, don't really care. You're going to figure it out. I'm teaching you how to manage a credit card right now. So it's like, it's okay. But if this is her area, then I want to be prepared. So after doing a lot of research, I researched that the 11+ doesn't have to be taught in the style of pressure. A lot of people just do that because that's the information that's readily available. And then I went through it and I thought, okay, what I want my daughter to have is choice. Yeah. Out of everything else, I just want you to have the choice. Do you want to do it, or you don't want to do it? But you have to have the choice. And to have the choice, you kind of need to be ready. So after going through all of the logistics, a lot of the stuff that she needs to learn, she's already actually doing. And a lot of things can be done in slight tweaks and not obsessive academics, which is what I thought that it was. So I thought to myself, I feel like a lot of people should take a bit of time to understand it,
Mm-hmm.
because it could give your child an opportunity, and they could take it if they want it, but not if they don't want to take it.
Yeah.
And I would hate for her to be in a situation where she could have gone for it, but she didn't have the tools that she needed to go for it.
I think
you
there's
know?
something in that, and it's also something in sometimes parents just knowing your child, knowing what's best for your child, or your family having a strategy.
Yes.
What schools do you like? Where do you want them
Exactly.
to go? Does that school, will she fit well? Will she not?
Is she gonna thrive
Exactly,
here?
and
Yeah.
that's the thing, rather than all the noise that's around it. I believe.
I agree with you, and I think that it's just a lot of comparison and a lot of
Gets
the
worse,
to-dos,
gets more.
and you just I want to make sure, and like because Kizzy is a high achiever, it is easy for me to sit here and be like, I wouldn't mind if she wasn't really good, it would be fine. It's just but then it's like, but when she wasn't very good at swimming, I was just like, oh God, like she jump in, like, that's so true, like saying for me who can't swim, but you're just like, so I get it. It's like it is easy when the children are flourishing in certain areas, and it isn't a lot of effort for the parent.
Yeah.
But again, as I said, I got her a tutor because I'm not very academic. I don't have a lot of patience, and I don't want to teach you. Like she plays chess. I'm not a very good chess player.
Yeah.
She was telling me about this chess move, and I said, oh no, that's not right, because there's only one queen on the board. And she was like, ugh, mummy. And then she explained, and I was like, good, okay, good, but this is why you go, and I was testing you. I knew that, so for me, I'm just not there academically, but I would want
also
her to
looking at what do you want? It is an element of what you want her to be able to do, because you can see the world, right?
Yes.
Our children don't know what's out there in the world. What we do, and we know our children, what's the journey that they could have. And as long as you open as many doors as you can and give them the opportunity to explore, I think that's really important.
Yeah, I think that's
so
key.
for my children, having two boys, living in South London, my thing has always been, I need you to know that the world is bigger than South London.
Yeah.
That's it. And what that means is I'm going to open you up to so many opportunities that you don't think this is it for me.
Yeah, and you don't feel like this is unachievable.
And my boys know
They can
that
do
they
anything.
can do absolutely anything and want to do the most. And I love that for them, because it means that I should have trusted my parenting, but trust that actually the trajectory that they're on, despite the world, because you can only do what's in your house, right? The world can be school and school environment, pressures around other children, relationships, online. It can be societal, so where you live, friends that they have.
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
the
pick- you can't
dynamic.
pick their friends for them.
Yeah.
So those dynamics, family can say, why are you doing that? My kids aren't doing that. Or family can encourage you, or family can
Discourage you.
discourage you as well. And then you've got the world, as in like what's happening in the world. So, my children, my oldest didn't take GCSEs because it was COVID. So he had to use his mocks for his results.
Wow.
Which was, I've got a child who hasn't never taken GCSEs, but he's gone on and he did sixth form, and then he went to Britain, and he went to uni. But he didn't do GCSEs, which is a big turning point in someone's life. That's because of COVID. And then my youngest didn't do 11 plus or anything, because he went straight through in the COVID year straight into secondary school. So the world has an
changed,
impact, right?
yeah.
You've got financial crisis, you've got COVID, you've got what's happening in the West or the East, or anything can happen in the world that could maybe put a dampener. A lot of people, that AI didn't take all that. No, if you're ready for the world and you're preparing them,
then you're good to go.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Yeah, I definitely, and that's what I feel like. I feel like it's opportunity and being able to have a choice. And I feel like what part of my growing up, I feel like there were some things I didn't have a choice in the matter, because the opportunity came at a time where I wasn't ready, because maybe my mum found out. I remember I really wanted to go Sylvia Young. There was a scholarship that came through, but we found out too late. I missed it. We never revisited the conversation. And I feel like for me, that was always a thing where, okay, cool, let me be ahead, so that anything you want to do, I'm not pushing you to do anything.
But if you want to,
do it, you can grab it with two hands.
I think back in the day, parents didn't have access to as much information that maybe
we have now.
And there's a lot more on offer than maybe when I was definitely growing up that children can do, themselves or with you or whatever. So it's a very much different time as well.
Yeah, no, it is. It's so different. Speaking of different time, how do you manage this digital world? Because right now, so you have 11, did you say 11?
So he's 16.
No, he's 16, you said 11 plus.
Yeah.
16. So you're at the stage now where you probably don't have much control over them and their devices, but you've grown with it. So how was you in the earlier years in terms of, because a lot of parents are feel very guilty for giving children the iPad. And then there are some parents that are like, no, because they're learning on the iPads. And then you go out to dinner and you see mum and dad having a conversation and the kids are just on the iPad. Like, what is your version?
So I would say I try not to judge, because I think there's a lot of judgment. But I think there's also, as a parent, what's in your house is in your house.
Yeah.
So I love devices. When I was 9 or 10, I had a computer. So I was one of the first kids to have
big computer in the house.
Amstrad, that's how I'm aging myself. An Amstrad computer. I had a green screen in the UI, I forgot a colour. So anyway, so
did you have Frogger on there? Is that the one that had the Frogger game?
I'm not that old. No, I don't think it was Frogger. Something, Pipe and Pete, something like that. Anyway, I had a computer. So I've grown up with tech.
Okay.
And I love tech as an individual myself. So I will have the latest of everything all the time.
Okay.
So I've encouraged tech in my house. And my dad used to say to me, you have to learn how to type. This is the future.
Yes.
So I've grown up with that. Devices and technology is the way the world is always going to go from a very young age.
Okay.
So my dad was ahead of his time in that way. So I've never shied away from giving them devices. What they have on the devices, though, I've tried to potentially control. So my oldest didn't have social media till way after his friends and my youngest has software that maybe his friends had years ago now.
Okay. So you've delayed it a little bit.
I've done what I can, because I want you to understand, but there's other things you can do on social media other than Snapchat or TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
You can use it. I could program when I was 9.
Yeah.
Like the line going like that.
But you could do it.
I'm like, use a device, but just not for seeing what everyone's doing, watching YouTube, watching someone on YouTube having fun. Go and have fun yourself. Do you know what I mean? So it's that type of thing. So I try not to judge, but also I love technology. So if they're going to use it, I'm going to try and get them to use it for what we do in our house. Create something, print something, type something. That's what it is. It's stressful because, your kids might have the computers in their rooms now, or they might not be in central places. They're just falling the big tower in the front room. They'll operate the phone. And then you want them to have it on the way to school, on the way back. And there's a lot. Lock it down as much as you can for your family. But just be aware, because they, again, don't know what the world is about. And you do. So one of the first things that kind of happened in that world was when my oldest went to secondary school and the WhatsApp group started.
Yes. Yeah.
And obviously he got a phone because he's 11. When he was 11, he got a phone.
It's the group chat, they call it, innit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was a group. So it came home like day 2 or 3, and it went ping, 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 ping. I'm like, what's happening here? Take the phone. It's like, brrr. I'm like, what's? Nah.
It's insane.
So I'm taking the phone at night. I'm like watching how these kids thinking, what's going on here? Because I'm that parent. So
I need to know.
You're going to bed, and the phone stays downstairs, and it's like, what's happening here? And I'm like, 10, 11, 12. Kids are still doing this. I'm like, well, you can't see this. You're not going to be up. I'm going to control it.
Yeah.
You can have it, but I'm going to control it. And then you have to warn them about the dangers of...
Yes.
This is when he was 11, so it's a while ago. But that was my first interaction with him having tech. But
and seeing how it connects them to everyone.
Everybody else. But then when it was COVID, the kids couldn't go anywhere, so they were all
needed
online.
It. Yeah.
So now we're like, okay, you got to come off that now. And it's like, well, hang on a minute, because all the schools, like everything's all classroom. It's all online. I'm thinking, I cannot wait for school to be over with my youngest so we can just move on. But it is the way it is. So control what's in your house, but know there are others out there that are not doing that. So whatever works for you.
Yeah, you're right. And I feel like you've hit the nail on the head there. It's like, you can do what you can do, but when they're connected to other devices, you just don't know what's going on in those households. Like Kizzy was on, so she had friends, they were FaceTiming on their iPads. And this is when she was about 6, I think, 5, 6. And then my sister-in-law had called me and said, oh, Nyah, they're doing a group chat and I think that you need to, like, this is probably not great because they're too young. I said, a group chat? What group chat?
Do they know?
Kizzy had added her cousin, who's a bit older.
Yeah.
And then one of them said, oh, listen, something, you big back, or something. I said that.
Yeah,
so it's like, and then I realized, like, this is, you're too young to control a group setting of verbal occasions. Like, it's not, we can just about, I've left WhatsApp groups. So if I've left WhatsApp groups at my big hardback age, it's too much for them.
And they can't withdraw, they can't go away, because then it's another set of...
And it's a public forum, and then they're going back to school the next day and they're all there. So it is so hard. Like,
I understand my schools want to, like, stop this phone thing.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with it, to be fair. I just think just use the technology. I love technology,
Yeah.
but some of the software on it is not for me.
Yeah, and I think do you know what? I love the way you said that. It's the tech is fine, it's the
lovely.
software, what you're picking. And I was saying earlier on, I was talking about the Roblox and the Minecraft, and Kizzy was like using them, and then I stopped I saw the horror things on about the Roblox and blah, blah, blah. And she got a 3D printer for Christmas.
Nice.
And but one of the softwares to learn how to create is called Tinkercad.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, we're going to learn this. So she's on there and I'm on there, and she's push, 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 push. And I'm like, what? And then when I've looked at it now, the way that the platform looks, it looks like a Minecraft or looks like a Roblox. So she gets it. So then it made me feel like we want to take these things away, but this is where we're going.
Yeah, yeah.
So if I remove it now,
Yeah.
I just put you at a disadvantage.
That part.
And I don't want to do that.
No.
So now I'm like, okay, you can go on 20 minutes, and then I've explained the dangers. And just give the children a bit of
freedom.
Yeah.
Listen, when I was younger, I'd go off around the estate for hours. My mum wouldn't know where I was. I'd come back at dinner time, and it was fun.
was good
We don't
to
live
go.
in that world anymore.
Yeah, but there's
there's a bit of
version.
freedom, exactly. And it is scary, but I try not to live in a world of fear.
Yeah,
I try on parenting, and just don't let him wild out in the
Yeah,
wilderness
yeah,
of it all. But I love the tech. I just don't like the software. And again, I have them research what software can I put in front of him that would be as interesting.
Yes.
You're playing these games, you can make them yourself.
Yeah.
Or, we need, why don't you automate the lights in the house?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
do something that's going to be of, okay,
You're learning.
I'm learning something
Yeah.
and having a result at the end of it, as opposed to just being a consumer of
some bullshit, man.
Because there's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, like I stopped her. I saw her trying to watch shorts, and I was just like, we're not doing shorts. We're just not doing any shorts. Okay, it's just a no because it's the.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Sounds really-
what is? Yeah, it's gonna kill your brain.
And it's very fast. And I think that's great because it's where we're going. But what are you doing with that? How
Yes.
can you use that really quickness for
something else?
mental arithmetic or.
I have thrown her on. She wants a dog, and I'm not getting a dog to see her. Okay, but I've said to her, okay, by the end of the year, if you can make £1,000 on Vinted, then we can talk about getting a dog.
A dog?
I ain't getting a dog.
Okay.
She's 9.
You're gonna get a dog.
No, but is she gonna make £1,000?
Listen, she was a dog. She's gonna make.
Well, she's made £16 so far, and I'm not gonna lie, I was shaking in my boots, man. £16. I said, so when did you set this up? She showed me. She's downloaded Vintage. She's set it up herself with her own email. She's using ChatGPT to help her write creative the subscriptions. And then someone has bought something. She goes, I've got to leave them feedback. I said, okay. And then she wrote on there. She's like, something really nice person. And then she said, I really like your display pic.
Oh, bless her.
She's on Vinted.
Yeah.
I said, when I looked at the display pic, it was like a cat or something. I said, this person's going to think that person is so weird.
Right? Weird. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Okay, so if you could go back and you could give your earlier self in motherhood one piece of advice, what would be the piece of advice that you'd want to land for her?
She wouldn't listen.
Okay.
She knew it all.
She knew everything.
But if she didn't know it all and I was going to give her some advice, I'd say be kind to yourself. Yeah. And she wouldn't listen because she doesn't know how to be kind to herself. What does that even look like? What do I do? How do I do that? I'm a mum. I've got a career. I've got a job. I've got a husband. She wouldn't know how. And that's something I still struggle with now.
Yeah.
So be kind to yourself. Speak soft words and kindness to yourself. Just don't be so hard. It's okay.
Yeah, I really feel that one the most, honestly. I feel like mums genuinely, no matter the type of mum you are, you're so critical of yourself. Like there is a lot of pressure to be this person again and then losing the will to live because you just can't see her anymore. Yeah. And I see a lot of people that mums are just like, I'm just not going to do it anymore. I have a friend and I remember she's got 3 kids and I remember she always be like, no, don't take pictures of me, just take pictures of the kids. And I never got it. And then I had my daughter, and then one day I was like, I was never going to be that crusty mum on the school run. I've been her. I'm not going to lie. I've been crusty. I definitely have. You know, like, I was like, I'm never going to be that. It's happened! It's the cardinal sin! But now I understand because it is so hard to show up the way you want to show up and be presentable the way you want to be presentable because there's no time.
Because you feel selfish if you do.
Selfish.
I'm like, if I do that for me,
it's taken away from this.
Yeah.
And it's something I think the majority of mums struggle with. I definitely make time. I am like, no. It has to be me.
What I love about people who are entering into, again, my oldest is quite old, but if I was entering into it now, I was any part of the 0 to 11s, if that's the attitude you have, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, I hope so. And that's my advice. I'm always like, no, guys, you
be that champion.
You've got to take a little bit of time for yourself.
For sure.
Yeah, and I always say to her, and I explain it to my daughter as well. I say, listen, if mummy doesn't go to the gym and mummy doesn't have mummy time, and mummy's not going to be happy. And when mummy's not happy, what's mummy like? Mummy's basically an arsehole. Yeah, and do you know what I mean? Like, leave me alone. You don't want that mummy.
No.
You want the mummy that wants to, I want to do the Monopoly and I want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
But that happens when you have a little piece of yourself to just hold on to. And I struggle myself.
Yeah, it's not easy. I struggle today, and I've got big kids.
Yeah, I see that, and I feel like it is definitely it's just a journey, isn't it? Before we wrap up, because I could talk all day to you.
Bless you.
I want to just talk about the invisible load, and what does that look like in HR? Like, is it a thing? Is it something that companies are actually addressing? Is it like, do they care? You know, like, because I feel like you go into work, you've got all this stuff to do, and you're physically there, but your brain could literally be somewhere else, putting out a million fires at the same time. And I don't know if that is a thing that companies are recognizing, that it's not a negative, it's just recognition. And maybe there's something that we can do to help, you know?
Depends on the company size that you work for as to what's going to be really impactful there, I think.
Yeah.
Larger companies have more space, room and growth to do more for people that are in work and have this invisible load. And you're talking about the invisible load of a home life, right?
Yeah, being a mum.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. So larger organisations can mostly absorb more and help you with things like flexible working. So you have the right to request flexible working if you are working for an employer. If you're working for yourself, that's on you.
Girl!
That's on you. But also, you end up working 7 days a week, but especially as a founder, at the beginning, especially I worked loads of hours. But being intentional about where you work sounds really easy. And I think I've always been intentional about where I want to work. So the kind of company, the kind of what sits well with my values versus where I'm going to be giving my time. Because employment's a two-way relationship, right?
Yes.
You're paying me for my services. I'm giving you my services.
My hours.
But exactly, for that exchange of. So I do have some power in this. And how you exert that power is then how confident and strong you are in your abilities to do your job well.
Yeah.
What you think about your boss, your line manager can play a big part in that. If you've got a really good line manager who understands and is more flexible maybe, or can give you time and space to breathe. And this isn't about performance and being a poor performance, but being good at your job and do what you do, but knowing that person has extra load as well.
Yes, yeah.
So performance is a big thing, and having a line manager who can understand that. Not everybody does.
Yeah.
And even saying it out loud now, it's a luxury to work within an environment that has a line manager, because that's the person that's going to impact you the most, that can understand what it actually even looks like, who wants to listen or even cares. Team members who actually want to listen and care, and you're not asking for more, you're not asking for grace, you're just asking for understanding.
Yeah.
I'm not asking to do my work, I can do my work, I'm good at my job. Understand that before I came here, I had a fight with the Weetabix bar. I had all this stuff, and I'm still here.
I got to the school gate and I saw toothpaste on my child's face. I'm like, babes, what are we doing here?
Listen, I got to the school gate and I realised it was costume day.
Listen, I've gone to the school and it was closed. And do you know what? There was a dad there, and I said, I'm really not on my mama, because why am I here? There's only one other parent here, and it's a dad. This is a dad thing. A dad would know the school's closed. Why?
I've done that. Listen, I've done that. I've sent the kids. I've said no costume on costume day. Schools closed. One day, one of the times we was going to school, Kizzy said, "But the school's not open today, Mummy, because it's day off." I said, "Kizzy, if the school's closed, they would let me know." And we got there. I said, "Right, call my mum. Listen, we had a big day today." It's always a type, right? Exactly. So that happens a lot. But there are things you can do, but also things that are in your control, things that are not in your control. If they're not in your control, just think about what that actually means. What can you do to put in place things? Your today doesn't have to be your tomorrow. Doesn't have to be your next year. You can plan your life. You have agency. You have as much control as you can put in. It's not easy,
but it can be done.
But it can be done.
Yeah, I look forward to the day and I always say this, is like one of my dreams and aspirations, especially while I'm on this journey, trying to build tech and trying to build solutions, is that by the time my daughter gets to the age where she's employable and she's working and she has children, that she doesn't have to ever even talk about the invisible load, because it's just not a thing. You know, men and women, parents and non-parents are all in a space where they work towards making sure that the invisible load doesn't exist. Everybody just knows what they should be doing.
Yeah.
It sounds like an ideal world. But
also, I think that tribe.
Tribe!
That's what we need.
Yeah.
A tribe. It takes a tribe. We know this is what your company's based on, right? Invisible load is about you saying, I can't do that. Let me get someone to do that.
1,000,000%.
I can now afford to pay someone once a month to come in and do that bit.
Yep.
Or I'm going to save so I can have someone take that load. Or I'm going to lean on that parent. It's about that organisation.
Yep, it definitely is.
And investing in that, running your team, your family, like a project.
Yep, yeah, I agree.
How do you apply some of these work type solutions to your family?
And see, that honestly, that is the gem. And I feel like that was the penny moment for me when I left. So I ran a printing business for a period of time, had Kizzy. While I was away, everything ran without me. Smooth, no questions, nothing. The systems I'd built were working.
Yeah.
And then when I'd left Kizzy at home, it's like, but why can I not? I don't understand. I've got interns working for me, right? They're printing t-shirts, they're posting, they go tracking numbers. Why isn't it working? And I just feel like families lack a system. And the system is always lacking because children are all different. Women are all different. Dads are all different. Families are all different. Grandparents, all different. Aunties and uncles. So if there was a system that could lock everybody in and deliver an idea of how to do it based on each family type, then we would be winning. We'd be winning in life.
Put that on a nice big thing on my house where I can touch the screen and move things around and operate like a matrix.
This is what I mean. This is what we need. This is what we need. It's going to happen. I mean, listen, there are young boys getting funded for water apps to remind you how many times to drink a day. Someone needs to give me some money so that we can get this show on the road and change the lives of millions of mums and dads all over the world. Because without us, you have no new children for your workforces, guys. So let's make it happen.
No, I love that.
But Tacita, you've been amazing.
I appreciate you. This is really good. Thank you so much for inviting me again.
Thank you.
I've loved having this
Listen,
chat.
I've loved having you as well. And I know that the listeners are going to get some real good gems. And when you get home, look for that Louis Vuitton headscarf.
It's gone.
Because I want it.
The big glass. That's the hell I thought I was.
Yeah, you was the girl. Well, I think conversations like this really matter because there's proof in the pudding, and it doesn't matter how old your children are, you're always going to be thinking of how to help them, how to motivate them, and there's always going to be space taken up in your brain for somebody other than yourself. You know, this is the Parent Playbook. We discuss real issues. You know, there's no one rule, one size fits all. There's no one rule for absolutely everybody. There's no manual, no instruction. There's just a purple print. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back next time. Bye.
The Parent Playbook.